Today's episode is looking and managing our cash flow into Christmas and into 2026. Now, if you're a recruiter who doesn't look after P&L, doesn't look after cash flow, this episode will still be for you because I want you to have a sharp understanding of how, business metrics work. But if you are a sole recruiter, if you are a recruitment business owner, or even just a business owner, this episode is going to be for you. Okay, it's not going to be a long one, but I want to give you guys, I understand there's a lot of people following this podcast who work for themselves, who have small agencies, and you've either done the Christmas dash or the cash flow dash over Christmas, or you haven't, but I want to give you some insights as to how we can manage that effectively. I've been doing it for 12 years now. We don't have any contractors. It's all contingent. You get this ugly gap in placements done around December, January. So how do we manage it? What can we do if we haven't got enough cash booked up? Hopefully you do, and this is not an episode for you, but like most people, it's a pretty consistent game, and when you have a month off or 2-3 weeks off, or the corporate Australia goes off for 2-3 weeks, it's just a bit of a gap, okay? So I want to give you some ideas. I'm going to give you a bit of help. I've got a checklist for you. Won't take us long. Let's get jumping into it. So the first thing I want you to do is look at your cash flow, and I want you to look at cash in 2025, i.e. from today, which is late October or mid to late October, up until Christmas or New Year's Eve in 2025, and then there's a second bucket, which is then January 1, 2026 onwards, right? You kind of got two camps of thinking here. And what we want to focus on right now is, when will our invoices be paid? I know that's so obvious, but I really let's tune our attention to this for a moment, because we are so typically trained as recruiters to look at our deals coming in, a pipeline of work in terms of interviews and when they're landing and all that sort of stuff. We're not always looking at start date. We're not always looking at or being hyper aware of our terms within those deals, i.e. when are we going to actually get paid for this invoice? Is it a retainer up front? Is it payment on signature? Is it payment, 15 days after, starting? Is it 30 days? Is it 60 days, right? And what I want us to do right now is I want you to look at your entire pipeline of deals that are currently in your pipeline, and you can press pause if you want, and I want you to put them into those two camps. So one, okay, I've got 10 people on my pipeline. Let's just say you've got a bunch of people on first interview, a bunch of people on second interview, and a bunch of people who are kind of getting close to making deals. I want you to take those people and put them into those two buckets. Which ones will be paid this side of Christmas, and which ones will be paid in 2026? And once you've done that, you'll get a pretty clear idea of, are you fucked or not? I guess the second overlay that we want to look at is, when do you need money? When is your cliff of no money coming? Is it November and you've got a bit of work to do coming to Chrissy? Is it actually next year already and you've got breathing space and whatever? And I think if you've got cash flow already into next year, you're probably doing pretty well, and that's a great thing. Bit of tough year for a lot of recruiters. I'm guessing it's pretty thin coming into Chrissy for a lot of people. So we want to know, have we got enough jobs booked or pipeline there built to cover Christmas? And then once we've covered that, what do we got coming into 2026 in terms of cash flow? That's where we start. Okay, and I want you to look at it and go, okay, that either helps me, like a lot of my stuff's going to get paid this side of Christmas, great. This helps me because I now realize everything I'm working on, they're not going to start until next year. I'm not going to get paid until next year, and I've actually got a 6-week gap from the middle of November to January where I'm not going to have any money, and then your heart's starting to pump. You're starting to get nervous. You start to get sweaty. We can't operate well in this, right? So it's about really actually not putting our head in the sand and acknowledging we have a problem. So first thing is pipeline. Are the deals that we're going to secure going to land this side of Christmas, or are they going to land next side of Christmas? What I would then do, right, is I would be putting all my energy and focus right now, being mid to late October, in those deals that the money's going to land this side of Christmas. I will be going, okay, what else do I need to do on that deal? Do I need to back up that role with more candidates? Do I need to get that candidate out to more clients? What do I need to do within my realm of work to secure those deals, to make sure that they actually happen? Because they're your bridge. That's your bridge over to next year, and you've got to make sure we secure it, okay? And then like really like we're focusing on this bucket right now. We want to get all the money that we need to get us through to Christmas. We need to make, that's where all energy goes. As much as a good client comes in, they've got this work, but you're not going to get paid till next year, but you need the money now. That needs to become less of a priority for you, okay? Because once you've bridged to 2026, the pressure actually comes off in November. I've got room to breathe. I can take time off and relax, and I can then focus on making other deals, and they'll land next year, and we'll be fine. So once you've established that, right? We've got the bridge and we've got the flash flow, and you still got problems. I want to give you some levers to pull. All right, we all have different levers, and it's okay to pull levers, right? But if you're looking at it and going, so what typically happens for recruiters is they make a lot of placements now. No one starts till January. All your money comes in Feb, and you get this 1 or 2 months cash flow gap that can really hurt businesses, especially if you've come off a weaker year and you've just been a little bit thin. You haven't been building up the reserves, right? So what do you do in that situation, right? There's probably a lot you can do that you don't realize. The first thing you could probably do is invoice financing. Now, if you're a contingent only business, you're probably not actually across what that is. Essentially, a lot of temps and contracting recruiters will know exactly what that is. You basically, you've made the placement. Here's the contract. You pay for it. You get a credit for it or whatever. How we use them with contingent recruiters is that you can say, well, this invoice is being submitted to the client. It's not going to get paid for 30 days. You hand it to the invoice financing place. They'll give you 70% of that invoice. And then once that client pays in 30 days' time, you get the remainder back. There's a small cost associated with that. But it can pull your cash flow forward an entire month at times if you need it. That's actually one of the first places I would look, Second place I would look, probably at the same time, is if you've got cash on hand in your personal account, whatever, that you go, well, if I inject 20 grand into the business's P&L or cash flow now, I'll be able to take that out in February because there's a lot of invoices there. That's an easy way to do it and be okay with it. Like you're just doing a bit of a juggle, right? And that's interest free. So that's another thing we can look at. Another lever we can pull, of course, and not financial advice whatsoever, but the ATO will offer you a payment plan. So if you've got any like big BAS payments coming up or big IS statements coming out or anything the ATO on, they will happily say, oh, we'll put you on a payment plan. You do pay a stupid interest rate and it's not tax deductible, okay? So just know that cost is not deductible and that it's basically just going to erode profit potential. But again, if you get to take that big chunky amount out of your cash flow as an obligation, and all of a sudden you've got more breathing space in your cash flow. It's a great one. It was better when the interest rate was deductible. The other thing that people don't realize is just pay the minimum on your credit card if you've got a bill and just put it into your cash flows. I've got to pay that full bill back in a month's time when those invoices come in. So if you haven't, you're getting the hint that like, I love a cash flow because I can see, 3 months ahead of where everything's happening. I can see a gap and I can move things around or whatever, and I can have visibility. When I started this agency, I didn't have a cash flow. And a lot of you guys who have started and girls who have started your agencies, you probably don't have a cash flow either. Probably get an accountant giving you, oh, this is owed to the ATO, or you've got to pay this, whatever. This GST's coming up, whatever. But if you can't see ahead, it just feels like a heart. Every time you start to hate the calls and the emails from the accountants because it feels like they're just going to bill you with something, right? And they are. So get a cash flow if you haven't already. Done 1,000 episodes on that. Go and look for them. They're kind of the main levers, yeah? And if you pull all of those levers and you're still really worried about your future pipeline of cash flow, look, that's a whole nother episode around, is your market serving you? Have you got the right revenue? Are you making money? That's a whole bunch of things. This is just, we're coming to the end of the year. Cash flow gets disrupted by the holidays. Your clients go on leave. Your candidates go on leave. We go on leave. And it's just about managing your cash flow so that you can relax and that you can function best. Again, 2 buckets. What deals can we place now and pay us now before Christmas versus what deals can we place now and pay us next year? And just having an understanding of where they're going to land into your cash flow will give you so much comfort, so much sort of calmness about what you do, because you know exactly what your priority tasks are and what are less of a priority. Because, if you don't do that activity, you might be working on roles that you think, cool, that's going to be a big bill, that's going to be a big invoice coming in, but you're not necessarily going to be helping your immediate problem, which is that cash flow up and through to early next year. That's all we have time for you today. Like, share, subscribe. It helps us grow. As always, have an amazing day. May all your deals and cash flow woes come true. No, cash flow positivity come true.